Welcome to the CyberWire's Word Notes podcast, brought to you by Tanium. See and control every endpoint everywhere.
The word is endpoint security. Spelled endpoint for user devices that connect to a network, and security for protection. Definition: the practice of securing a device that connects to a network in order to facilitate communication with other devices on the same or different networks. Example sentence: endpoint security schemes can cover a wide spectrum of user devices, from traditional computers like desktops, laptops, and servers, to virtual workloads in the cloud, to mobile devices like phones and other wearables, to peripherals like printers, to IoT devices like niche functions in energy and medical, to business consumer interfaces like ATMs and self-service grocery store cash registers. Origin and context. Computer scientists began experimenting with securing mainframes in the 1970s. The idea of endpoint security didn't really begin until after the personal computer revolution in the 1980s and the arrival of the first viruses. In 1986, the brain boot sector virus started to propagate, and according to Daniel Snyder at InfoCarnivore, quote, "Brain boot came with contact information for the authors who created it," end quote. It was a simpler time. The first antivirus programs started appearing as freeware and shareware tools. Researchers used a bulletin board chat group called VirusL to exchange information, tools, and shareware for the purpose of removing virus infections. The first commercial antivirus products came from companies like G-Data Software and McAfee in the late 1980s. Today, endpoint security has evolved from antivirus products as the only solution in town to a palette of security enhancement solutions. Examples include traditional antivirus, sandboxing, personal firewalls, encryption, anti-exploitation, anti-malware, patch management, asset management, and endpoint detection and response, or EDR. EDR solutions typically collect endpoint telemetry in the cloud and run machine learning algorithms on the data to find malicious activity. XDR solutions combine EDR telemetry with network detection and response, or NDR telemetry, in a similar manner. Nerd reference. One of the VirusL bulletin board chat group members was John McAfee. McAfee started his own endpoint protection company called McAfee Associates and became one of the most famous and eventually infamous cybersecurity personalities ever. In 1992, he launched a marketing campaign that warned the world of the Michelangelo virus that he claimed could infect up to 5 million PCs worldwide. He predicted that on 6 March of that year, it would destroy the data of all those infected hard drives. Sales boomed. According to Andrew Couts at the website Digital Trends, by that March, at least half the Fortune 500 companies had deployed the McAfee Associates antivirus product. But on 7 March, nothing happened. Security pundits accused Mr. McAfee of fabricating the entire thing. By 1994, Mr. McAfee's reputation was so bad that the board forced him out of his company with a whopping $100 million severance package. After that, he dabbled in a few other businesses, became a yoga guru, and enthusiastically embraced the sport of aero trekking, an insane sport which, according to Clouds, involves soaring through the air on a half-motorcycle, half-hang glider contraption called a kite plane. After an accident where 2 people died, Mr. McAfee fled to Belize to escape a lawsuit. And that's where the real craziness kicked in. With alleged paranoia, a harem of allegedly underage women, alleged drugs, alleged mercenaries, and potentially alleged murder. Allegedly. Oh, also libertarian politics and YouTube videos slagging his former company. He died on 23 June 2021. Sam Shepard from CNBC News reported it this way.
John McAfee, found dead today in a prison cell in Spain. The founder of the antivirus software that bears his name had just been ordered extradited to the United States on tax evasion charges. He faced up to 30 years in prison if convicted. He was 75, and a wild ride of a life it was. McAfee's virus scan software came out back in 1987, and he ran the company for 7 years until he resigned in 94. In 2013, he created a profanity-laced video explaining how users could uninstall his own software. The year before, McAfee faced criminal accusations while living in Belize. As the story went, his next-door neighbor poisoned his dogs, and McAfee had him killed. But he never faced criminal charges. The federal court in Florida ordered him to pay more than $25 million in damages to the dead man's estate. The feds say McAfee failed to file tax returns for 5 years last decade. The Securities and Exchange Commission came for him too, accusing McAfee of making more than $23 million in undisclosed income from false and misleading cryptocurrency recommendations. The federal court in Manhattan charged him in an alleged pump and dump scheme. Along the way, of course, McAfee ran for president. Last October, police in Spain arrested him on the warrant out of the United States. Authorities in Spain say they suspect John McAfee killed himself. His death is under investigation.
Word Notes is written by Nyla Genoe, executive produced by Peter Kilpie, and edited by John Petrick and me, Rick Howard. The mix, sound design, and original music have all been crafted by the ridiculously talented Elliot Peltzman. Thanks for listening.
This CyberWire Word Notes podcast is made possible by Tanium. From November 16th to 18th, join thousands of global IT and security professionals online for Converge, 3 days of engaging keynotes and industry luminaries, curated, informative breakout sessions, and technical hands-on lab experiences will help you optimize your cybersecurity readiness, gain new skills, and learn new practices for overcoming common IT and security challenges. Visit converge.tanium.com to register today. That's converge.tanium.com.